and welcome back to the second Web Developer Fundamentals. Now again, without doing much coding, we've just learned another very important aspect of being a web developer, something that will take you throughout your career that you'll need to work with. And that is the fact that we have multiple web browsers. Now, if you remember, Tim Berners-Lee, the inventor of the World Wide Web, created it because we needed a standard way to share documents amongst each other. And through HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we're able to read these files and actually have beautiful websites. Now, when we send these files over, let's make a copy of them. Each of these browsers read the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and lay out the web page for us. But as you can see, each one of them is owned by a company and is a different browser. So that means they all have to agree on how they're going to read the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Because if they don't all agree, then, well, we need to create different files specific for each browsers, because each one of them has a different idea of what HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is. And you know what? When the World Wide Web got started, we had something called the browser wars, where each browser was kind of doing its own thing, implemented different things, and we still have that to this day to some extent. But there is a governing body which kind of creates these standards now. But still, it is still a pain point for developers where we need to figure out that whenever we send our files to the web browser, it all looks the same. And that is one of the biggest problems we have as developers, and you'll see tools later on in this course that try to solve that issue. But you'll always encounter this problem where we want to make sure that wherever your browser gets rendered, anybody can see your website. And not only that, we also have mobile phones now that access the internet. We have iPads. So now, not only do we have to worry about different browsers and whether they agree on what code works in each of these files, we also have to make sure that our websites look good on small screens, on big screens, on all sorts of different screens. And that is a very important concept, something that when you get to become a web developer, you'll encounter this problem where you have to test on each devices, each browser to make sure everything works. And we'll use some tools that have developed over the years to solve these problems so that it's not as much as a pain point as it is or as it was. All right, one more lesson to go, and then we're going to get coding. See you on the other side. Bye-bye.